What do you call an animal that has 4 legs and makes a mooing sound? Aha, a cow. That's it. That's the bit. Welcome, besties, to a brand new snapshot. Oh, at last today, we've got a banger. I just put icy hot on my entry. I'm feeling good. Go on ahead and delete that like button for me, and let's dive right in. In our first unexpected mob update of the day, the llama. The llama has received an interesting update where in the previous snapshot, if you jumped on the llama when it was tamed. Not this again with the mob taming, it's so painful. In the previous snapshot, if one were to jump on a tamed llama and check the inventory, well, it actually had a saddle slot. No longer does that exist. Oh, but I already know. That's not the change you want to see, right? Sending ourselves over to the desert biome. Today we have an interesting warm biome. Oh no, that wasn't going to end well. We've got an interesting biome update over here inside of the desert. Listen. Oh, as it slowly sets in, you can kind of hear it. It's super faint. Like, we'll definitely check this one out even more for sure on stream today, but we've got a bunch of new ambiance inside of the desert. There's wind sounds. Can you hear them? They're so subtle in the background, but like, this is what I was talking about. With more ambiance inside of the overworld, truly, whatever this spring drop update is actually called, I mean, it's an overworld overhaul. Oh, wowee. Just running around inside of this thing, this is insane. Now, the thing that is even more beautiful about this update is the fact that the sounds aren't actually tied to the biome. Instead, it's tied to, well, the blocks and plants, or whatever you want to call the dead bush, inside of not only the desert, but the Badlands biome as well. So this change right here, it mirrors exactly the change or the new ambient sound addition that was made inside of the Garden Awakens drop, wherein essentially if I have pale logs combination with pale hanging moss or a couple of other similar block combinations all involving hanging moss, well then I can get those creaking sounds. Creepy creaking sounds. Now our new deserty sound effects, they will work when the terracotta block, any color of it, the red sand block, or of course the classic sand block, when any of these 3 blocks are surrounded by at least 3 more of those block types on any side of the block. Like I said, we'll test it a little bit more on stream, but I believe what that translates over to is basically if I had this, maybe that, and then that right there, on occasion, these blocks, or like the central one, might be able to play any of that sand ambiance. Another way to check this out is, of course, fill a large area with these blocks and idle around near them. And it's faint. I feel like I totally just heard something in the background, I think. Oh, totally. Yeah, it's subtle, but there's wind. Now, dead bushes are going to be able to play sounds as well, only for the dead bush, the rules are a little bit different. We need a dead bush placed on any 2 of these block combinations. Again, terracotta, any color of it, red sand, or plain old normal sand. If I had this combination sitting over back at home, I'd be able to get the subtle sand wind ambiance. Oh, it's just so beautiful. I don't know if it's going to translate. I'm so nervous today. I'm scared. In fact, I think the only thing that may be able to calm my nerves a little bit is a small glimpse, a little taste of that brand new Minecraft cow. Oh yes, besties, they've done it. Like they teased earlier this week, brand new cow variants have made it into this drop. It's fire. Now, these cow variants are going to behave very similar, in fact, suspiciously similar to how the pig variant stuff works. If you're in a warmer biome, say the Badlands biome, and a cow were to spawn, well, whoa, take a look at that red cow. This is definitely the one that we saw in the short on TikTok. Look at those horns on that thing. It's a horn. I shouldn't say that. In a survival setting, let's go ahead and check this thing out. This thing, it looks evil and intense. Does it maybe say, like, inherently hate me, even though I am the cow brethren today? Well, no, it doesn't care. It's behaving exactly like a normal cow. If I were to smack this thing, well, same exact thing. It behaves exactly like a normal cow. How about a little bit of wheat for my friend? Well, yes, you love it. And let's say maybe I had another one right here. We'll go ahead and breed them and look at the adorable baby one. Go ahead and make the love. Oh my God. Look at that thing with the giant head and the massive horns right there. I mean, wait, that actually the head looks maybe a little bit too large, right? That's funny. Ooh, wee. Now this new cow, it's actually going to be a little bit different than the pig, or at least I believe. Because you see, of course, inside of the Badlands biome, the pig is very warm, but I think if we move it into the jungle, is it still warm? Oh, you know what? Never mind, because the cow was warm here is what I was going to say. Clearly, we can see here, too, the coloration on these mobs, it's like slightly different, but it is similar at the same time. One may be curious about the new cow's drops, and tragically, those horns, they never come off of the beast. If you go ahead and take this cow out, the drops, the loot that comes from this mob, it's exactly the same as all of the other cows, how it's always been. With that being said, though, let's go ahead and check out the cow in a more neutral environment because, wow, the cow, the texture, the model of this buddy has been changed. Look at that nose right there. It's 3D. It went to the nose doctor, got a nose job. It's not every day you see somebody get a bigger nose at the nose doc, but hey, I mean, it checks out. Look at you, cross-eyed as ever, but like, you could smell me from a mile away, I think. That's crazy. As for our other change to the cow model, we checked it out a little bit more in this video from Monday. Thanks for checking out all the videos lately. I love you. But yeah, the model itself, or like the texture here, it's been like kind of like faded out, if you will. It's a little bit less harsh than it was before. However, take note that every single leg is still a like cloned version or mirrored version of itself, depending on the leg you're referencing. And yeah, that's a little weird. Maybe they should update that. The drops and everything else statistically for this classic cow that you'll be able to find spawning in many of the biomes like it always has is, well, exactly the same. It's beefy and leather. So that cow is what is now considered a temperate cow. If we go ahead and say waltz on over to a biome that is a little bit more chilly. Well, let's say we threw it on back over to one of the most beautiful biomes of all time. Wow, that's a far beacon beam. Hold on a minute. We've got a beacon change inside of the snapshot that I did not see coming. Beacons and their beams now render beyond 16 chunks up to the client render distance. To keep visibility at large distances, the beam is thicker. Beams now render up to 2,000 blocks away. 2,000 blocks up into the sky. Take a look at this thing. So I'm pretty far away from this beacon beam. This is back over at World Spawn here. And yeah, you can see how thick this beam is, but it like actually renders there in the background. This is crazy. This means you could actually use beacons like way more effectively now for marking out places inside of your world, realm, server, whatever. Now, as I go ahead and start to back up and maybe like the beacon gets out of render distance, eventually, I believe maybe the beacon will pop out of view, like disappear, or is it here eternally? I don't know. We all learn and test together here in the snapshots, but it looks like that beacon is well far beyond, or at least the blocks that it's coming from should be far beyond render distance. It's interesting. But anyways, the cows, the cold version of the cow, how does it look? Is it Woolly Island cow? Well, unfortunately, I don't think so. No emo cow, but we do have those horns sticking straight off the front of the head here. Take a look at that beast with the 3D nose and like the orange outfit. Wow. Compared to its other cold brethren, the snowy pig right there, I mean, like, interesting. Whoa, 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 buddy, back it up. Get away from him. That's weird. Wow, I mean, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I know you already want to see it. You want to see the new cows and make sweet the love. We'll go ahead and let them do their thing. Look at like the wool or the fur that they had. That's really cool. It's like a yak or something, but wow, take a look at you with the giant head as well. I don't know if that's glitchy or if maybe that should stay, but it's definitely a thing. Here you go, buddy. Ooh, now flying around this world, in this particular one, it's a seed that I've generated before, which means, tragically, new generation features aren't really gonna pop up. The same thing is gonna happen, of course, over here inside of the Snapshot Flats world because, well, it's super flat. My leafy friends, it's been weeks on weeks and we're still wondering what's going on with the leaf litter. Can we place it on maybe a couple more blocks yet? No! The developers, what are we doing? No, come on, please. Leaves, like, they at least need to be able to go on the sidewalk. I can't even talk. I'm so angry about it. What are, like, please don't do this to me. Leaves, but, like, only on grass? What? That's despicable. Another kind of beautiful thing inside of this snapshot, we have a total of 22 bug fixes. They're great. Pig update, we actually do have one. Inside of the files, inside of this snapshot, this pig has officially been renamed from just plain old pig to temperate pig. A similar or exact same change is going to go for the cow inside of the snapshot as well. It's not just called a cow, it's called a temperate cow. Alright, now back over on the main menu. At this point in the video, I don't even need to remind you. You've already subscribed, that's great. Experimental toggles, changes, no new ones still. It's beautiful. I don't think there will be any for this cycle. We go ahead and create a brand new world so we can get that fresh new generation and maybe, like, say, wander around in a familiar biome. Like maybe, say, the forest, that would work. Or, say, the plains biome right here. So inside of the snapshot, we have a total of not one, but two brand new plants. The first plant that I'd like to take a look at is called, pretty simple, the bush. The bush will be able to be found generating, there it is. We'll be able to find this brand new plant generating in the plains biome, the forest biome, and many other classic Minecraft biomes. This plant is going to generate like basically all over these biomes from time to time. From my very brief and early testing of this generation, it is like kind of decently common. It does kind of blend in with the grass, but I would say that, to be honest, maybe the bush could like generate a little more frequently than it does right now. Oh, let's move around, though, and take a look at it, because if I walk up to it and, like, walk through it, nothing really happens. It doesn't slow me down or anything like that. That could be an interesting mechanic as well. If I were to walk up to it with my bare fist and just punch the bush, well, the bush, it actually drops. It's not going to be like the grass item or anything like that. All you need to get it is just your fist. You're the strongest man, woman, person in the world. You can just pick it up like that. Wow, it's beautiful for decorating. This is going to be gorgeous. Let's go ahead and jump down on the ground and run into another biome, like let's say the forest, and see what we can find here, because inside of the biome we still have all of this leaf stuff going on. It's beautiful, but from time to time as well, inside of the forest somewhere, baby, please don't let me down. There we go. It just blends in so much to the old grass. Maybe the texture could even be a little bit more like a different tone or something like that. But check it out, the brand new bush. This is a beautiful brand new addition to Minecraft Terrain Generation. I love the idea of diversifying the things that we're gonna find and, you know, see generating from time to time. It's pretty fire. Oh, but these 2 pixels bopping around in front of my beautiful sunglasses. Look at how dripped out I am today. You didn't have to say all those nice comments down below about it. I already know. Oh, those 2 pixels. The Firefly, my friend. It's here. Kind of. It's here. Sending ourselves over to a swamp biome. Right at the beginning of the video, I kind of flashed an interesting looking plant. We'll take a look at it. The swamp biome. And, well, I guess inside of normal biomes alongside rivers is the home to this other brand new bush. Take a look at it. It looks like reeds. Now, in survival, we walk up to this plant and, whoa, what am I seeing? It's a subtle animation. It's very small and faint, but around the bush, we got the falling trees from the leaves from the trees. That's very nice. But around this bush, from time to time, oh, you can see it, like, very faintly. There are different colored dots popping up. Do it again, please. Do it. I gotta show it off. Oh, from time to time, there are faint little dots that pop up all over the place, but perhaps a different time of the day might be easier to see it. All of a sudden, bam, it's the middle of midnight, and oh, the firefly, the sweet little particle, it has finally made it into the game, kind of, in a sense. Look at this thing all over the air. You can see different tones of yellow dots all over the place. Even better, this particle effect will only grow even more intense the more bushes that we have around. Just how it works, kind of like with a spore blossom or whatever. Look at it. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. And I don't know if you could tell real subtly here, but the bush is giving off a tiny bit of light too. Now, you may be wondering, what happens if I walk up to it and smack it with my hand? Well, it breaks. And listen, kind of sounds like I'm breaking a crop or something. The Firefly bush, I can't believe it. They've actually implemented the Firefly. They've gone ahead and done it. This new thing, I love that, like, little animation on the texture right there. It's like we have, like, vertical fireflies or whatever, and then, like, the subtle particle effects that pop up in the air. And again, it's like they do pop up in the air at daytime as well, or at least it seems they do. This just may be a little bit harder to notice or whatever. Ooh-wee, this thing is beautiful. I cannot wait to take this bush, like, place it at my base and fill up some kind of garden box with this thing, because that's a really nice texture as well. Honestly, not gonna lie, I love the new bush, but I feel like I kind of wish it had more of a standout texture, kind of like this one right here. Like, I don't know, just maybe a medium. Not as different, but, like, it pops out a little bit more from the standard old grass, right? What do you think? Gosh golly wowie, what an amazing day. What do you guys think of this snapshot? Which feature inside of it is your favorite? Tell me all about it down below, and stay tuned. There'll be a stream in probably a couple of hours. And thank you all so much for watching. Smash like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all, well, later, but also tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.